1. I'm starting. Okay. Rhombuses. Rhombuses are a special type of parallelogram, still a parallelogram, and since it's still a parallelogram, it shares all of the parallelogram properties. Joanna, come inside. Yeah. Okay. So, it being a parallelogram, the opposite sides are parallel. The opposite sides are congruent. The diagonals bisect each other. That means split the diagonals split each other in half. It's a very important property. And consecutive angles are supplementary. Parallelogram with 4 sides. A definition of a rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. All 4 of these sides are congruent. It means they all have the same measurement. A very special property, and probably one of the most important properties of this, is that in a rhombus, the diagonals are in a rhombus. In a rhombus, the diagonals are perpendicular. So, Jonathan, please stop talking. Thank you. Diagonals are perpendicular. So, perpendicular. What does perpendicular mean? Perpendicular means they cross at a 90-degree angle. Another property that they have is that they split each other's angles in half. Meaning, this is the same angle as this is the same angle as this. All 4 of these angles are the same. This angle is the same as this angle, and this angle is the same as this angle. What is not true, these 2 angles are not the same. What is neat, though, about a rhombus is this triangle here is the same as this triangle there. And then this triangle here is the same as this triangle here. So it's mirrored. And if you actually look here, this triangle is the same as this triangle. It's a bunch of cool little triangles that go on in rhombuses. Okay, we're going to draw us a rhombus. Take your note card. If you don't have one, look on the floor. You're supposed to keep them. I gave you one. We're going to draw a rhombus. We're going to use the long edge first to get a straight line. The sharper your pencil is, the easier this is, by the way. So, I'm going to draw me a straight line. And I'm going to make a little bit mark in the middle. Just a little tiny mark in the middle, so I know where the middle is. We know we need to make a perpendicular intersection. On this note card, what's a perpendicular intersection? Perpendicular means 90 degrees. Where do you guys see 90 degrees in this on this paper? In the middle, but also easier in the corner. These are 4 90-degree angles. So what you do, and this part's tricky, so pay attention. You line it up to where you're in the middle and you are lined up with the line. You see how the edge of my card here is lined up with the line? After you get those lined up as best as you can, you draw a straight line from the midpoint here all the way down. Just like this. And then if you notice, that's about 90 degrees. Mine looks a little bit off. That's just one side of the diagonal, right? We need to do the other side. To do the other side, you line it up with this line instead, and you draw your line. And now we should have 90-degree angles for all these. Is it going to be 90 degrees? Probably not. It's probably going to be off by a degree or two. Okay, so this segment should be the same as this segment, or this segment. This one here. And this segment should be the same as this one, this one, this one, or this one. This one? So these two are the same? This one. These two should be the same. Take your ruler. Measure them. See if they're about the same. Are they going to be about the same? No. What are we using? Centimeters or inches? How do you guys remember that? 5,000 times. I got, for this one, 6.3 centimeters. This one I got, hey, look at that, 6.3. This one I got 3.7. And then this one I got 3.7. Oh man. So this might be a pretty good rhombus. The diagonals are looking good. Take your ruler after you're done, and we're going to draw the sides. There's one side. And after we draw this side, you should start seeing what shape it should make. Now it looks like Pac-Man. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good rhombus if I've ever seen one. If you look there, slanted. Okay, if we drew a correct rhombus, all four of these sides should be the same length, correct? Measure your four sides, see if they're all the same length. Are they going to be the same length? No. I doubt mine will be. Let's see. Seven points. 7.3 for this one. And 7 points. Ooh, 7.3 for this one. Is it going to be a Valentine's Day miracle? No, 7.4. Wow. 7.3. What? I've never heard of that before. All right, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to finish this. That's how I feel each time I draw one of these. Yeah, you just move it over a little bit. But it's not that big of a deal to me. All right. Squares. I'm going to give you guys one more minute. We're about to work on squares. Nope. You'll see. You'll see. I gave you a hint. It starts with a Q. Ends with a whiz. Yeah. My charm. No, but it's not as sharp as I want it to be. Okay. Squares. Everyone should know what a square is. Well, a square is a parallelogram. A square is a parallelogram that is also a rectangle and is also a rhombus. It's like a combination of all of them. A square, opposite sides are parallel, just like in a parallelogram. Opposite sides are congruent, angles are congruent, angles bisect each other, consecutive angles are supplementary. Those are all the same rules as a parallelogram. Because it's a rectangle, a square has 4 right angles. Right angle here, right angle here, right angle here, right angle here. And the diagonals are also congruent. That means this is the same as this. But more importantly, these are all the same. Okay. And if you notice, these make 4 isosceles triangles. It's a rectangle. It's a rhombus because we have 4 congruent sides. And the diagonals are perpendicular. 1. So we know these are perpendicular. So if you actually count how many 90-degree angles there are in a square, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you draw your diagonals. Okay? The most important thing is these 2. And I guess this is important too. I guess all 4 of these are important, really. All right. Guess what we're drawing us? A square. Circles are very hard to draw.
What if you have that whole thing?
Then it's probably an oval. Well, you're just being spicy right now. Okay. Take your note card. Since a square has congruent diagonals, we can choose to either use two big ones or two small sides. Which ones do you guys want to do? Two small is easier because it's less mistakes you can make. So I'm going to use two small ones. Just like doing a rhombus, we're going to start off by drawing a line, a diagonal. This is the midpoint, so I'm going to mark a little midpoint there. Next step. Clarissa, are you working on this? No. Next step. This is the tricky part. We need to make these perpendicular. So you need to take this, line it up with this line here, and make it touch the midpoint. So this looks pretty good. Oh, no, a little too far. That looks good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up to this midpoint here. And if we let go of this, if you look, that should be a 90-degree angle. That's a pretty good one. Because you need to try to get it straight. You could do that, but it wouldn't be perfectly straight. All right, next steps. Like what Juan was saying, you set this in the middle, and now since we have this guide, we can make it at the right angle. And if you look, now I have what looks like a Cartesian plane. Coordinate plane. Like a grid. Yeah. Yes, you may go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So, in a perfect world, this will be congruent to this one, or this one. All of them. Good catch. That's a trick question. Good. Now we need to make sure they're actually congruent by measuring them all. Measure yours. I have, how many degrees is this? I got 3.8. See if this is 3.8. Okay. This is 3.8. Ooh, looking good. Clarissa. No talking. 3.8 centimeters. Valeria. Participate. No talking. $3.7. No. 3.7. So I probably should just add a little bit here. That's 3.8. All right. Now we need to draw the sides of our square. There's my first one. There's my second one. There's my third one. And here's my fourth one. Now we need to see if this is an actual square by measuring the sides. I got 5.4. Ooh, 5.5. Ooh, bad bear. 5.4. Yes, and 5.5. Right, I'm gonna give you guys about a minute or so to finish this up. After you finish this up, I want you guys to take this out. Oh, that's gonna be bad. This.